Metlex.io is one of, if not the most useful tool to assist with Meteora DLMMing. And I'm sure, like me, one of the reasons you even knew about the platform was by seeing profit cards like these on the screen. So how do you make profit cards such as this and be able to see transaction details? Well, the first thing you're going to need to do is have made and opened and closed your position to get the full summary. So this is clearly an open position. But to see the positions I've had, I'm going to click on my Phantom wallet. I'm going to want to go over to the Transactions tab, and I will be able to see the tabs. Now what I do is, having a scan over this, I know when there's a green tick in a circle and it's an app interaction, for me, this means it's a Meteora interaction. The Radium ones are obviously not me interacting with Meteora. So for this particular position, if I click on here and I click View on Soul Scan, this will be related to the one I just made. So I can see that I made the Fiji position. So what you have to do to get your profit on Metlex is copy the transaction ID or this signature. So I can copy that signature, head over to Metlex, and then paste it in there, and I will be able to get all the details about it. So I can see I've not closed it out yet, so I'm at minus 100%. The easier way is actually to copy your wallet address into SoulScan and then head over to this DeFi Activities tab. Once you're here, you'll be able to see all your interactions with a DeFi platform. What I would do is go to Actions and actually go to this Remove Liquidity, and this will show all the positions you have removed. And from here, you'll be able to see which positions you've got open and which you've closed. So for me, let's say I don't want to look at that pool, I was just looking at that Fiji. I want to know how this Gematro and Solana position I made was, which I just closed out. So I can copy the signature right there, go back over to Metlex and paste that in, and I'll be able to see that particular transaction. And I can do this for any of them. I can go back in time. Maybe I forgot a few of the ones I made. So you could actually remove this and go to Add Liquidity, potentially, if you want to see some of the earlier ones you made, which you forgot about. So sometimes if you are looking back over all your transactions for a day, a lot of them you will have made and probably closed out very quickly. But a few of these I know I made profit on, such as this Erebus position and a few of these ACT positions, and I will check them at the end of the day, tally up my gains and losses. And from here, you can share all your profit cards to get all the important information, the time, the profit, how much you deposited, and also the pool, which is really nice. And we also have these new graphics. So depending on how long and how profitable you were in the pool, you will get a different graphic. So I'm going to put up an image now of the different kinds, but what they depend upon is, was your position profitable under 10 minutes? Was your position profitable overall, regardless of time period? Did you face a loss, or did you manage to make over 100% P and L? Now next up, you do have the option to download this, and you'll go into your files and you can post this on any social media with this exact card, which you can see. Personally, I actually use a screenshot plugin built into my PC where I can just go like this and I can click this copy here, and I can paste it on any social media. I find that a lot easier and quicker. Or on MacBook, you can obviously screenshot this as well. Moving on, we have the fees section. So for all of you who are mainly interested in maybe the airdrop or are just curious, you can see the total amount of fees you've generated in your wallet. You'll just have to copy the wallet address where you've made these positions, paste it in here, click search, and it will start going through them. Now, of course, this will take a while depending on how many positions you've made. I personally have been in hundreds, if not thousands of pools, and a lot of them, I have around this $800, $1,000 in fees in just so many pools. It will take my wallet so long to load up, so I'm not going to wait for it all, but you get to see a nice overview of all that. The next tab in Metlex is the pools tab. Now this can be quite useful sometimes, and this allows you to search for a coin or a token address and see all the related pools with all the information about it. Now of course you can do this on Meteora itself. So currently I'm in this pool and this coin called Fiji. So if I search that right now, they will show up. I can click in it and I get the information, the bin step, the fee, PVL, and the 24-hour, and I can click on the one I like. So I just search for Fiji in the pools tab, and it is very responsive. If you see me type it in here, it shows up instantly, and you can see I get the exact same interface with the pools. Now you can try and compare them. The only major differences are obviously the layer and the UX. You might prefer Meteora or you might prefer Metlex, but you do also get the today fees, which is not on Meteora, and you also get a few other links which you do have to actually click on the pool itself to see, on Meteora, such as the Dex screener and also the rug check. But there is one more thing to note about looking at the pools on Metlex. What I have found is sometimes I am very early to searching for pools. So on this particular coin, I actually wanted to start pooling it before there was even a single one actually made on Meteora. And I was prepared to create the pool myself, but sometimes there might be a pool created, and when you go to search it on Meteora, nothing shows up for the coin, but there's actually a pool made. And what I have found is Metlex actually finds these quicker. So to refresh it, you can either delete what you type or just go like that. Oh, sorry. And sometimes if I were to search this pool, there might be nothing show up on Meteora when I click on pools and I search it. But when I type in here, there is actually some that show up. And this is only in rare cases nowadays, but it does happen. Now you can actually go one step further than this, and if you put the pool in this Dex Legend tab, so I just pasted the contract address, you can see a little bit more information about these particular pools. So we have the Raging one and the 2 Meteora ones, so we can actually see how these are performing against the Raging one. But what we can see is the transactions in different time frames that are going through these pools, and this is really useful. And it can help you determine if you want to jump in that 5% pool, which is better for the coins which are more volatile, jumping up 10%, 20% in the 5-minute ranges, or maybe it's a little less volatile and the 2% 100 bin pool is catching more transactions. And looking at this, we can clearly see from the way the price has been trending in the last kind of 5-10 minutes that this 100 bin pool has been catching a lot more buys, which is the green numbers, and sells, which is the red numbers. And it's good to catch both. As you can see, this one just caught some sells. But it's important to consider these in your wider strategy, of course, because this is the 250 bin pool. This will get a lot more of the transactions when the token becomes more volatile. And if you wanted to go wider in your position, and this is better if you want to go narrow, but even more risky and maybe be able to catch more of those transactions. And of course, we have the filter for finding the top DLMM pools. I have spoken about this on my video of how to find the best pools, and I can't say I use it too much right now, but I do use it in combination with Twitter, with just kind of social scanning, checking bullets, and my watch list for finding the highest volume coins. But how we can use this tool is we can first of all see the top 100 pools by today's fees. Now you can see pools with only a fee of 5% or 2% or 1%. What I would recommend is to stick to these two, as very often with a new coin, the first pools that will be created will be 5% 250 bin pools, and these will last for most likely an hour or two. From then on, people often move to the 2% pool, and to be honest, unless we're dealing with high TVL coins that have been around for a few days, we'll look at the 1% pool. So what I recommend if you want new pools is you're probably going to want to filter by that 5% or that 2%. I would say the 2%. And now you'll get some of the best pools for this kind of fee, and they will all show up right here. From here, we do have some more filters though. As you can see, we can filter by volume, because some of these have 0 volume on the 5-minute, and if I tick this, those coins will disappear. So they just disappeared, and I'm just going to untick that. But then we can actually sort by volume. So this is quite useful. So 5-minute, and it's going to show us a few of the pools. 1 hour, so this will actually be, slows my computer down a bit actually when I click on these, because it has to load them up. But we can see a few of the same pools showed up for both of these filters. We've got Fiji, which you actually might have seen in my other tab. We have this WMM pool, and we have, these are kind of the degen pools. These coins, a lot of them popped up today. They're very new, and a few that have been around for a few more days, and we can get the quick fire information about them, so you can choose which ones to enter. With regards to this minimum and maximum liquidity, I don't use it too much, but it works as it says. If there's a maximum liquidity, you want to avoid those. So I would say don't worry too much about these. Amount of liquidity in a pool isn't always super important, but potentially you don't want anything above 200,000. You could say that is quite a large amount. Maybe you're looking for just those smaller ones. You could filter by that, or you can see this filter by 24-hour fee to TVL or market cap. So this is to do with what we always see. There's $10,000 in a pool, and we can see the fee is 5,000. Therefore, we have a 50% TVL. But I don't concern myself too much with that anyway. I just like to filter by the volume. I like to stick on 2% personally. and then filter by the volume as well. And then I can just have a quick fire look at how much volume is going through these pools in these shorter time periods, and also kind of the fees in the pool. And this final section, which you won't actually find on the default Metlex screen, so you actually have to manually search this for now, is the metlex.io/Tuxx URL extension. And this is a custom page made based on a strategy that the Meteora user, who's also a Goose member, Tuxx, created. So a lot of people try and make custom formulas which might help decide which coins to enter, and this is one which kind of sparked off the back of his ideas. And I'm sure there'll be more pages like this, and I'll try and keep updated, but I'm sure Alex will add them to the default UI as well soon. So what you have is you have the min bin step, max bin step, and this is new, and this is different than on the default DLMM page. You can't do that. But we also have a few, got the min and max base fee. Same with TVL, which are actually similar to here. You can add the minimum liquidity. And we also have this filter by volume. But what's also different is the UI of how this looks. So what you can see is this percent, and this is comparing the volume to the TVL. So you can see 38,000 in volume and only TVL of 15,000. So this has got 281%. And these are numbers which on their own do not mean much. So maybe you or me looking at this isn't part of our strategy. But what it can allow you to do is compare a few of these to each other to formulate a strategy. And I'll leave a link exactly what strategy he uses with this information, because, you know, Tuxx is quite a successful DLMMer and uses this information sometimes, and it might just be good to educate yourself on how it works. That is everything about Metlex. If you do want to learn more or get involved with some of the positions I'm creating, make sure to head over to the Solana Guides website, where I have more information about an entire course on how to DLMM, or join my Discord, where I post a lot of my plays. And you can see right here, if I go to DLM analysis, I post all my positions and we can discuss it.